So this is, your Skinfold caliper, your spring-loaded tape measure for doing girth measurements. I also use a tailor's tape measure as well. The reason why I like these, they're spring-loaded, and they're going to give you an equal amount of spring each time you take a measurement. So it's a repeatable measurement. Now remember, when we're doing body fat and Skinfold assessments, the value is in repeatability of the measurement. So you want to be as absolutely accurate as you can possibly be with these measurements, because when you do a pre and post, you want to be able to notice difference in between. When you're doing a fitness assessment on a client that's the opposite gender, typically you leave the door open a crack, especially if it's just you and them, okay? Especially if you're a dude doing a fitness assessment. Oftentimes what I'll do is I'll recommend the client to bring a friend or a significant other. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with girth measurements. So I typically start on the top down. So I'm gonna go shoulders. So I'm gonna go around the outside part of the shoulders on the widest spot right here. And then I'm gonna spring trap the tape measure closed. And I'm going to record to the nearest inch and a half. Then I'm going to take the tape measure, I'm going to let it drop down and say, okay, go ahead and lift your hands up. You can put your hair behind your head now. So hands up. And I'm going to measure the chest. For ladies, they're like, what do you mean you're going to measure my chest? We're going above the bosoms, right? So then I'm going to go and do, if you see right here, there's the hourglass, the waist. You know when people go like this, right? So we're taking like the leanest part of the hourglass, and again, to the nearest half an inch. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna check the back to make sure that this measuring tape is level with the floor. Now I'm gonna take the ab, so go ahead and put your finger on your belly button for me.
Technically, that was it.
That was your belly button there?
Yeah.
So just a little bit lower than the waist by about maybe an inch. That's fine. That's interesting because we've got an inch between where I took the waist measurement and the ab measurement. So an inch between up and down. It gives me a whole inch difference on the measuring tape. Okay, so you want to make sure that you take the spot each time. Now I'm going to go down here and I'm going to do the hip measurement. And this is the booty measurement. You guys don't care at all about the booty measurement, where the girls, this is like the biggest thing ever.
Literally.
Well, I mean, not the biggest thing ever. I mean, like the most important. There we go. So again, you want the tape to be level with the floor. So the way Tess is standing right now is perfect. Actually, yeah, you can straddle up just a touch more. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and take a mid-thigh measurement. So here's where I'm going to go ahead and use this tape measure. Because this measure starts at 2 inches. Because it's also incorporating the length of this into the measurement. So if I want to get an easy measurement between top and bottom without that, where I'm not doing a circular measurement, I like to use this. It's just faster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Tess put her finger right on the crease of her hip. So if she was to go ahead and flex her hip, right, that's right on the crease. So I'm going to go ahead and put the tape measure there. I'm going to ask her to hold that. Go ahead and continue up again. So that's the right spot, and you can put it down. And I'm going to find the middle of the patella right here. I'm going to mark right in the middle of the thigh. So I'm basically taking this measurement and dividing it in half, and I'm marking the leg right there. At the same time, I'm going to do this with the other side. This is the hardest measurement to take accurately. And it's also the most awkward. Everybody's like, get out of there. So notice how I'm on like the outside. I'm gonna have her go ahead and straddle her legs so just go ahead and stand normal. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that that tape measure is again level, because the leg tapers down on both sides, and it's really, really easy to be too low on the back side of the leg when you're taking that measurement than you are on the front side. So you really need to step back and be like, okay, am I level with this? And then, then you have your measurement. And I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna take the calf measurement at the same time, just because the tape's here, convenient. And I'm looking for the largest part of the calf. Now, they're doing a show. An option that they have for these girth measurements is to flex. Biceps, chest, that sort of thing. You've got that option because that's what they're interested in when they're doing the show. They're going to be all tight and flexed. They have that option. So now I'm going to do the other side. So is it a catastrophe if you have a different sized leg? It's actually pretty normal. Biceps. Again, a couple ways you can do biceps. Some people will have your arms out like this. Some people will have them hanging down. Some people will have them flex. However you want to do that, Tess. She wants to flex. All right. I love it. I love it. So you're going to take the highest point. The next thing I want to do, I want to go ahead and get ready for my Skinfold measurements. I'm going to take my thigh measurement right here that I've already marked, mid-thigh. So that's already marked. Even though I'm only taking measurements on the right side of the body, that's important that you remember that. Right side of the body only. Because all of the data that you're comparing this to have been done on subjects' right side of their body. So there's this bony protuberance on the shoulder right here. It's called your acromion process. I'm going to put the tape measure on that bony protuberance, and then I'm going to go down to the humeral ulnar joint, or the elbow. Thank you, Ron. And I'm going to mark the middle. If you take a look, if I was to take somebody and be like, okay, let's go ahead and measure the triceps, I would be thinking, okay, here is the tricep right here. I'm going to take the measurement right there. But look where my mark is. It's a whole 3 inches above that. And then some people, they end up taking the measurement out there. Well, that's a very different measurement than right here. It takes extra time, but it's absolutely imperative you measure every time. You will see tons of trainers that never do. Imagine taking this on a client. Let's say Christopher, he's having his body fat checked again by his trainer, and he comes out fatter than when he started. Can you imagine the train wreck? Don't do that to yourself. Make sure that your measurements are accurate. So again, what I did right here is I measured from the acromion process right here down to the elbow, and I marked the middle, just on the right side. And then I'm gonna go ahead and mark the hip right here after I take this Skinfold. And what I can also do is I can say, okay, Tess, I want you to go ahead and flex your tricep for me so I can feel where the skin and the muscle are. You can go ahead and relax. I'm gonna take that pinch with 2 hands right here. I'm gonna hold that pinch, and then I'm gonna take my measurement. I want that measurement to be in the range of 1 to 3 seconds. Have any of you guys ever worn a watch, and when you take your watch off, you can see the mark where your watch was? That subcutaneous tissue is full of water. When you do a pinch for a long period of time, some of that water is going to kind of squeeze out of that site, and it could throw off measurements. That's what they're saying in the book anyways. I'll go ahead and I'll do it again, and if I get 2 different numbers when I measure the second time, then I'm going to potentially take a measurement a 3rd time. I might wait to take that 3rd measurement. So again, I'm taking 2 hands right here, Go ahead and flex for me, Tess. Good, relax. And it's the same number. Now I'm going to go over to the hip measurement, anterior, superior, iliac crest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Tess lift up and have her put her finger on the top of her hip bone. So this is the top of Tess's hip bone right here. And I'm going to take my measurement, I'm going to go 1 inch down the crease of that hip bone. So I'm going to go down from the top. Then from that 1 inch mark, I'm actually going to go a 90-degree angle over and mark that site. I'm going to go ahead, take 2 fingers full. Take it again. Okay, same number. The thigh measurement is probably going to be the toughest measurement to take. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have Tess go ahead and put her leg forward just a touch. And I'm going to grab that Skinfold. And sometimes it depends on the person and their body type. Sometimes taking this Skinfold measurement is a little bit uncomfortable. Sometimes people are like, that doesn't feel too great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have Tess flex. And you can go ahead and relax. How's the leg? You doing all right? I'm going to do it one more time. Okay, go ahead and flex and relax. Okay. Okay. There we have our measurements on Tess.